Greetings, family. It's Charles Thomas coming at you again with another segment. Um, Continuing the process of being concerned about melanin people and what we've been through as a people and are still going through as a people. It's been beyond 400 years since we've been in this predicament. And I think the universe has given me some type of guidance as to how to convey the situation that we find her in to you so that you can get more understanding of what is required of us as a people to exodus what religion has done to us. And I keep studying to try to get a better understanding or better revelations to explain it to you in a way that you can take it and apply it in your life based on what's holding us back as a people. So let's get started. We're dealing with, on this dimension, we're dealing with opposites. This realm that we are living in, this physical realm, is the realm of opposites. And like I said in the previous tape, the cross, the original cross that come out of Ethiopia, and that's explained in the Bible in Ethiopia, that was stolen by the Catholic Church, that manipulated the Bible so that we wouldn't understand it. So we have to take a different approach to get a better understanding of what happened to us and what the New Testament is doing to us to keep us in this darkness, in this rabbit hole. And it's a deep rabbit hole. So I'm going to open up with the Fatiha to get you to understand this dimension of opposites. And I pray that righteousness will guide my tongue so that you can get better understanding, and your light or your spark will ignite and lead you in the direct path that you must go for more enlightenment. So that's open up with the Fatiha, that it should be prayed to for understanding of a people that have been through and in the condition that we have been contained in for over 300 years. So let's get started. In the name of righteousness, most gracious and most merciful, all praises are due to righteousness, the Lord of all the worlds, most gracious and most merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee do we serve, and thee do we worship. Show us the straight way, the way of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, not those whose portion is wrath, nor those who go astray from righteousness. Amen. So thank you again for tuning in, so we can elaborate a little bit on the situation that we are in as a melanin people. As I said in previous videos, and I've come to the conclusion that our biggest problem has come from the Catholic Church. And we put more emphasis on the Bible that our enemies, our slave master, or the person that wants to keep us in darkness has given us during slavery. They taught us about their God, their image of them as a people, and being in the lineage of the God that's on their cross. And you have to look at it like if the shoe was on the other foot, if we had done what non-melanin people have did to us, what kind of behavior would they show you? Or would they trust you if you gave them a book claiming that you were God? Would they worship it like we worship that white image? Or the murder that they committed of a prophet, and to tell you to wait on him to return? It doesn't add up, because if you look at our condition, we're not benefiting from that level of thought like they are benefiting from it. Now, I'm not saying that material things are better than non-material things. Everything is okay as long as you put it in its proper perspective and not get hung up on physical things, because you're not a physical person. Your body is a spacesuit for your soul. So you have to nurture your soul in order to come from under that baptism of worshiping the image of a person outside of yourself. That's not going to deliver you. What our problem is as a people is the Catholic Church added to the Torah, the New Testament. The New Testament, when you go to these churches and you get baptized, you're asking to carry the sin of a murder that they committed, and you had no hand in that murder, but they are asking you in the New Testament to carry the burden of that guilt of a murder that you had nothing to do with. But that's what they're asking you to do. And if you accept that line of thought, this is what will happen to you. What happened to us as a people. That's what you call religion. You had nothing to do. And it's up to you to put the responsibility on the people that committed that murder, and free yourself of that concept of the New Testament. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. And just think of what happened to you under that train of thought. Those are the same people that stole you from Africa, did all kinds of atrocity things to you. You name it, and these religious people did this to you. That's why religion is forbidden. That was the tree that you were told not to eat from. And if you eat from that tree, you will surely die. You're not a religious person. You're a righteous person. But under religion, you have been indoctrinated into hell, torment, pain, and suffering. You don't even know what your name was. You don't even know where you came from. These are things that religion has taken from you. You have been stripped because of religion. You can't blame nothing that has happened to us on anything else but religion. Even today, Religious people don't want you to have anything. Religious people want you on the bottom. And I'm not saying to hate anybody. I'm just saying to wake up to what happened to you as a people because you deviated from the covenant of righteousness, which is your nature. It's not their nature. Non-melanin people are the total opposite of you. You have love. They have hate. You have compassion. They have no compassion. You have joy. They have no joy. They live in fear of the guilt that they are doing to you. We are the ones that's been crucified. As long as you accept that death, the guilt of a death that somebody else committed, you will never evolve into what your Creator wants for you. Your Creator wants you back under righteousness, but religion will not allow you to evolve back under your righteousness. That's why they keep you economically strapped and lacking. We are lacking in so many areas. That's one of the reasons that we cannot function as a people, because of the New Testament. And if the shoe was on the other foot and we gave non-melanin people a Bible to read from and to believe in, and an image of a black man to pray to, ask yourself, would a non-melanin people pray to a melanin God? You know the answer to that. Everybody on the currency of non-melanin people were former slave masters. Some even had slave farms. And I'm not telling you to dislike non-melanin people. I'm just trying to tell you the truth of your condition because of what non-melanin people have done to us as a people. Why we don't have and why they prosper. Look at the story. You don't have to be a rocket scientist. What they did, and most of you people under Christianity have never read this, Torah, the Talmud. This don't have the New Testament on it. And this is what Jesus, the man that you claim that you love so much, this is the law that he taught from. The Talmud. And you are afraid to read this. You rather accept a book, the Bible, that your slave masters have tortured you under. You are in an abusive relationship. And you hate to let that abuse go because that's all you know is abuse. But if you read about the law of righteousness in this book, you can understand why we are being punished as a people, because we refuse to accept who we are as a people. We do not want to let the book of our enemies down, because we think that their religion that they forced us over here and raped our women, stole the babies and sold the babies and murdered the babies, just like they did the American Indians and made the American Indians worship that God too. And there were Aborigines in Australia. They went around the world taking your covenant from you and forcing you to follow their religion, their New Testament, when the Old Testament was your bloodline to your Creator, which is righteousness. That's what the New Testament did to you. And it's all about religion. The religion from the Roman government. Rome is the enemy. Even in the Bible, they tell you what they're going to do with you. In Zechariah 5, the flying scroll. It was a flying document. Zechariah 5. And the woman in the box. And they released that box, that wickedness that was in the box, in Babylon, in Rome. They're not hiding anything from you. They're putting it right in your face. But you refuse to go back to what your Creator created you for. Just like the person that buried his talents. We all have talents. But if you're not using your talent, and your talent is righteousness, and the devil's job is to keep us from using our righteousness, because he knows that righteousness will defeat him. So as long as I can keep you under the influence of religion, he's going to win. Every Sunday, when you go to church, and that preacher talks about more about religion than it does about the law of righteousness, that was the will or the trust that God and Adam had. And Adam bit the fruit of religion, and you lose your life. You get kicked out of paradise. And I was reading in the Quran. They had a little thing in there about a messenger. It's in footnote 1874 for the Islamic brothers that's studying what they think is not a religion, and Islam is a religion. Islam has more tradition and rituals in it than Christianity. Christianity, the baptism and the eating of the flesh and drinking of the blood, and the holidays that the Christians have. I mean, religion has dominated the world, and it's time to put an end to religion. And you got to tell the people who Allah is. And you got to tell the people that don't worship that white image in Christianity. That's not Jesus. Jesus was made up. Look up, Google, the Council of Nicaea, that the Roman Catholic Church had all the bishops come together under Constantine, and they created the Bible, and they come into an agreement that they were going to use that Bible to indoctrinate and to crucify the world. And you got to let that go. You got to go back to righteousness. That's our exodus. That's our rapture, coming out of the grave of Christianity. To believe in righteousness is your destination. It's your healing. But all we know is wrong. I know people got important positions in Islam, in America, but Islam misused Africans before the Caucasians did. And the Shiites and the Sunni nation, they corrupted Islam just like the Christians corrupted Christianity. If you go to Dubai, you can see the materialism over there. We got to tell them who Allah is. Allah is righteousness. Fear is not your nature. Righteousness is your nature. But Christianity has caused you to have fear of who you are and for you not to use your righteousness. They have totally stripped us. And they were only allowed to do that because our ancestors broke the covenant of righteousness. What do you think Melchizedek was all about? There's a person that guards the people that are under the law of righteousness. That's his job, to protect you and to guide you. Righteousness is our shield. You can't fear man. You have to fear the person that created man, which was righteousness. This is what it says in 1874, the footnote. It says, if an object of a message is to make things clear, it must be delivered in the language current among the people to whom the message is sent. And if you in Islam and you trying to get people to go to Islam and you can't explain who Allah is because you don't understand righteousness, then you're going to have trouble. You're going to be a failure. You got to tell the people, and you got to tell the Arabs that their God, Allah, is righteousness. And righteousness will guide and protect you. That was the trust. That was the will that was established between Adam and Adam's creator. Righteousness. But see, white America don't understand the Bible like we understand the Bible. The Ark of the Covenant is the covenant. The Roman church thought it was a boat. So they created a story of Noah building a boat. But that's not what the intention of the ark was, to get people back under the ark covenant of righteousness. And religion was the flood. That God was creating the ark of the covenant to protect us from. It wasn't a boat. Romans didn't know. Only thing that the Roman Empire had was to conquer and to spread that religion of hate and white supremacy. That's all Christianity is. It's a belief in white supremacy, that white people should be on top. In Genesis, when it says that darkness was on the face of the earth, that was us. And then when he's in Genesis, it said that he created light. White people think that that was them, light-skinned people. It wasn't that. That wasn't the light that the Bible was talking about. But white people have tricked themselves. You got to get away from them. Non-melanin people are confused. They have confused themselves more so than they have confused us. Because they actually think, because of that image that they created on the cross, that is their ancestor. They really think that. That's where white supremacy evolved from. There is no superior race. Only righteousness is superior in this plane and the next plane. The only way out of this is righteousness. And it's not my problem because they can't believe in righteousness. That's on them. That's on the individual. But your growth in life depends on your righteousness. That's why when I created these books, I was moved. And I changed the American flag because I don't think stars and stripes, division, is more important than the universe. African American self-hate under the cross of Christianity and the black churches that are promoting it. This is hateful. This cross is a symbol for hate. That's why they was burning it and hanging you, because they think that they're better than you, because they are unrighteous people. That's how they were created. You can't get mad at a dog for barking or a snake for biting you. It's their nature. They cannot obtain righteousness. If they can, that's good. There are some righteous ones out there, but it's harder for them to tell the truth. Look at all the treaties that they broke with the American Indians. Look at the treaty that they broke with us. We never got our 40 acres and a mule. We didn't get any money when they released us from slavery. All you had was the clothes on your back. That's why they were able to get us back into slavery. And they're always going to give you crumbs. They're never going to give you reparation. The only reparation that you got coming is getting your butt back to righteousness. Let righteousness give you your reparation. Let them deal with this cross. But you got to do what you got to do, get back to righteousness and understand how important you are. And what you've been through is a testament to your power and your strength. You know? And for God's sake, put down that Bible and pick up this Torah and start teaching this Torah in the church and stop teaching from that Bible. That Bible has the New Testament from your enemy. And it teaches religion. It doesn't teach salvation. This is your salvation. The Torah, the Talmud. This is your salvation. And another book that I published. This book been out more than 15 years. And it explains the art, the act, a covenant transformation by Charles Thomas. I was led by the Spirit. And I didn't get it proofread because I didn't want nobody tampering with it. Because I know the tricks of Satan. And the two publishers that I had under this, they went out of business. It's hard to find this book because of the valuable information about the covenant that's within it. These religions don't compare to the weight of the covenant. That's why Lucifer changed everything, to get you to fall under religion and false worship. Your life is under the Torah without the New Testament. You can keep teaching and reading from that Torah. That's why you're confused. As long as you've been reading that book, you still don't have any understanding of it. That's because it's not for you to get clarity. This book will give you clarity. But I know you're going to keep believing in that Bible that your slave master gave you. That's why he gave it to you, to make you a slave. and to keep you a slave. This is the book that'll free you. Okay, I'm about out of time. So I'm going to close with the Fatiha, the prayer of a former slave that has an understanding of righteousness and the power of righteousness that's within the universe. That is the Son of Man. Let's close. In the name of righteousness, most gracious and most merciful, all praises are due to righteousness, the Lord of all the worlds, most gracious and most merciful, Master of the day of judgment. Thee do we worship, and thine aid do we seek. Show us the straight way, the way of those on whom thou hast bestowed thy grace, not those whose portion is wrath, nor those who go astray from righteousness. Amen. Blessings and peace.